Oh no. Oh no. Riot Games Incorporated have either crossed the line like Rick James bursting into Eddie Murphy's house at night or been partying too hard and passed out and let autopilot be certainly T. Either way, I'm not saying drugs were involved in this, but let's contextualize this guy in as short a time as possible because I wanted to talk about more than just his kit. He auto-levels all of his usable abilities because we need bigger brains to manage anything more he brings to the table, so instead you get to decide how you adjust your stat gains based on who you're facing. He doesn't level his Q, W, or E, or even his R. He just increases his attack speed, a bonus armor penetration, that is to say how much armor stats he ignores that enemies build, and his base attack damage. He's got 5 guns, all with 5 times 10 ammo each. When he runs out, he switches to a new one in a sequence. He can save a gun's ammo by switching it to his offhand, which gives him an extra passive. He's an ADC who seems to have stolen from 5 different champions for his minimum 5 auto attack modifications before he buys items. And yet, you heard that right, he carries 2 guns out of his 5 at the same time. One is his current, the other is his offhand. The current gun changes his Q and ultimate effect. The offhand gun is often used as a passive or automatic follow-up attack depending on what you're hitting people with. This is his rifle, and it turns him into Caitlyn. He gets bonus base range and a skill shot snipe for his Q, which is even a mini version of her ult if he can land it fire from his offhand weapon from literally anywhere on the map, so long as they're marked and he can target them. This is his pistol, and it turns him into Urgot with lifesteal. As long as he's in his admittedly close range, he just hits Q and wails on opponents like a disgusting Juggernaut would using his signature ability. This also gives him the passive effect for his offhand weapon, so it either applies his existing on-hits or allows follow-up attacks from his other available Q abilities. This is his cannon. It turns him into Twitch, but instead of damage, he just CCs opponents he lands on autos with his Q skill. That's really it. This is his flamethrower. It turns him into my favorite League of Legends champion, the Titanic Hydra, and it has an on-hit effect that increases the damage done by each auto and damages enemies behind those he strikes in an area of effect cone. Its active skill just throws fire in front of him with the bigger cone, and everyone hit by that fire cone, he also throws an automatic follow-up attack with his offhand weapon. A good 1-2 punch. This isn't a gun. It's his Chakram Boomerang, and it turns him into, this champion thing is falling apart. He gets his Q skill where it's almost literally Heimerdinger. He throws a turret on the ground as his offhand weapon. It applies a passive effect on them. His attack speed is based on distance while using this thing, and the more he hits an enemy champion with it, the more chakrams return to him. Which means every time he keeps hitting opponents with this, the chakram keeps duplicating itself and increasing its damage output. Finally, his ult is a big moon bomb projectile where you throw it into a team like Sejuani ult, but everyone caught in the blast take an enhanced version of the Q skill from your currently equipped main weapon. Now, Balanced Nightmare aside, I actually wanted to talk about his design as well. I'll leave the contributions and combinations and theory crafting to the people who put up videos with thumbnails like these, but let's get started. And not his My Chemical Romance emo look either. I mean his actual visual themes, and more importantly, at least to me, his concept. Because there's something weird about Aphelios that people haven't caught on to or forget to mention. Aphelios is the closest League of Legends will get to a Phantasy Star Online character. I know, but hear me out, this clicked for me. First of all, the most overpowered class in Phantasy Star Online has got to be the Raymar, that is the Ranger human male, and that's, they can wield most of the good weapons and all of the good range ones, and they're the easiest class to succeed with. As a Ranger in Phantasy Star, typically you carry a lot of different weapons to adapt to the dungeons you raided, especially at higher levels. You had rifles for long range DPS, rapid fire pistols for close range control, cannons and launchers for cleaning rooms that got too packed with high damage, area of effect moves, and maybe the odd melee weapon if the targeting was fucky. Also, this is what clicked it for me. See that? There are mimicking mag pets from PSO. Those things you helped raise to protect you during fights, yeah, and they took all sorts of neat shapes the more you raised them. Okay, now, look at this concept art. It couldn't be more Phantasy Star in some places if it tried. Here's the box art, and here's some other things from actual PSO, and down to the shapes and the clothing and the robot people, my dudes. I rest my case. Why is that important? Well, because much like a hunter running his daily TTFs in PSOBB, Aphelios has strapped her solutions for any problem that a stationary shooter would be able to solve. He's got sustain, he's got CC, he's got damage near and far, single and AoE. All he needs to do is point it at a target and rely on someone to peel for him so he can make a little distance and get back to being effective at his job. He was designed with versatility in mind, with clear weaknesses that follow this theme. His lack of mobility as opposed to Diana, the other moon champ, who can dash so long as she keeps enemies marked. Like, for example, if you've been watching PBE streams, you'd see that Leona is this guy's biggest counter. Leona pins people down and beats on their faces until the rest of her team can catch in and join on the fun. Outside of summoner spells, our little moon man has no escapes. He's no match for the power of the sun. Despite the signs, I think this champion promises a lot more to come for this game. Have I covered everything I want to say? Yeah, sure. Thanks for watching, everyone. This has been Pharaoh, and finally, I made a League of Legends video. Like, share, subscribe, stay tuned for more. My channel's going to be a focusless, rapid fire of ideas and videos for the last month of this decade, but I hope you like my voice enough to keep clicking on those titles. I'm actually looking less towards Aphelios' release and more towards Diana's ability rework that will be coming at the same time. Fun fact, I got the first pinnacle of the season in 2015 with her in my promos. If you want to fact check me or add something, do it in the comments. I welcome it. As someone whose subscriber count I could probably count on my fingers, I really can't help but stay 100% engaged with anyone that reaches out. But that's gonna be all from me. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Pharaoh again. Thanks for watching. Peace.